In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front brake caliper on this Volkswagen Beetle. Let's get into it. We're going to remove the wheel. If you have a center cap on here, you want to pop that off. There may be some tools in the trunk to help get underneath there. Pop that off. Then use a 17mm socket. Take the bolts out. Before I take the last one out, I'm just going to hold the wheel on so it doesn't fall. And pull the wheel off. We're going to loosen up this banjo bolt right here. Use a 11mm socket. Just loosen it just to the point where it's not dripping. That's good. Now we'll take these caps off using a pick or a screwdriver. Just get underneath here. Take those off. Using a 7mm hex socket, loosen the bolts up. Loosen those up. Now grab the caliper, slide it out. And on this side we have a brake pad sensor. You want to disconnect that connector right there, just so you don't break the pad sensor. Might need a pick. Disconnect that sensor. Slide the caliper off. And we can take the brake pads out. On the outside, take that brake pad off. Just using a brake caliper hanger, I'll just hang this from the coil spring. Set that aside. Make sure there's not too much tension on the brake hose. Take these caps off. Right here, there's a cap over where the brake hose is going to go. Take that off. And take the brake pads. Slide those in position. That one goes on the outside. Going on the inside. Lock that in place. Take the caliper and line it up. You start with the bottom first and then slide it onto the top. Take the old caliper pins off, or the caliper bolts. I'm just going to wipe those off with a rag. A little bit of brake parts cleaner. And some silicone paste. We'll get that started. Take the other pin out and do the same. And we'll put the bottom one in. And tighten that one down. and tighten those down. Now we're going to torque these to 21 foot-pounds. Plug the brake pad sensor in, line that up, lock it down, take the two caps, line those up, and push those in. Now we're going to take the brake hose off the old caliper. I'm just going to use the 11mm socket. I'm going to lose a little bit of fluid. You might want a catch pan underneath. And you want to replace these seals. I'm just going to use some pliers, hold the seal. Take the old seal off. And there's the other seal. Take that off. You're going to have a new seal on both sides. Just take this caliper out of the way. With the banjo bolt, put one seal on one side. Through the hose, and then the other seal on the other side. And we'll get that started in the brake caliper. You want to make sure there's plenty of brake fluid in the master cylinder before you take that off. And tighten that down. There is a small alignment pin right there. You want to make sure that's lined up with the brake hose properly. I'll snug that down. I'm going to pop this cap off. I'm just using a pick for the bleeder. With the brake fluid reservoir full, I'm going to open this bleeder. I'm just going to gravity bleed this for a little while. You should be able to see some brake fluid come out of there. Oh, there's some fluid. I'm just going to close the bleeder. Now I'm going to have an assistant pump the brake pedal for me. Go ahead and pump, nice and slow. And I can see the calipers moving. It's filling up with fluid. Now can you hold the brake pedal? Now, while it's held down, I'm just going to open this slowly. Get a little bit of air came out. Get on the other side of this. Now it's closed. Go ahead and pump the pedal again. And then hold it. A little bit of air. All right, pump it. And hold it. And that looked good. No air came out. So that should be all set. Go ahead and pump it. Take some brake parts cleaner. Just clean this up. Clean up the area on the hose. Put the cap on. Then after you go for a road test, you want to make sure you double check and make sure there's no fluid leaking. If there is, you're going to have to snug that bolt up a little bit more. And put the wheel up. Take the lug bolts, get those started. Snug one of those down first. Then it's easier to put the other ones in. Snug those down. And I'm going to torque the lug bolts down to 89 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. If you have a center cap, you want to put that back on at this time.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.